it's recording.
Yep.
Okay. Hi, Jean. My name is Rachel Weatherby, and this is my video for the PC Quilter. So I have my friend Vaughn here today. Say hi, Vaughn.
Hi.
And she's going to help me with, close that a little bit. She's going to help me with my video, and Vaughn has never seen my PC Quilter before, and so I told her just ask questions freely as they come up so that I can answer them and you can just get a feel for my style and how I present information. So with that being said, the first thing I'm going to show you is explain a little bit about what the PC Quilter is. So I think it's important to understand the first thing is when you have a frame, your frame comes with a carriage. Now on my Grace frame here, I went ahead and put my carriage on, and this is the carriage where my sewing machine would normally sit. And if I was going to do free motion quilting, my machine would be sitting on the carriage and it would be able to be moving back and forth all over the quilt. Okay? So this is the standard carriage that comes with your frame. Your machine sits on here and then you're able to quilt onto the quilt top. So that is for free motion quilting. Let me move over. Jake, you have to move. And one yellow lab. Okay, so this carriage set here is the PC Quilter, and this is a computerized robotic quilting system. So just like the carriage for free motion, it has a top and a bottom. This also has a top and a bottom, and it is guided by a series of belts that help move it across the frame, and that's what I was lifting up on when I moved my carriage over here was the belt, because it was kind of hung up there. So this is the belt, and the belt connects to your frame, and that is what helps move your PC Quilter back and forth. So a couple things to understand about it is you can use any home sewing machine that you have. In my case, I have a Homesteader, but I started out originally with my Janome 6600, which is a 9-inch throated machine. So you can start out with your domestic machines that you have, and you can move up from there. Ultimately, with the PC Quilter, you have it plugged into a computer, and I'll have Vaughn kind of pan over to the computer there. And on the computer, I have loaded a piece of software that's known as QT Menu. And if you can see the computer screen, hopefully you'll be able to see it well enough. On the computer screen is the setup of QT Menu, and I've already got it ready to go. I've got it ready to go to quilt my next row for quilting. And actually, you can just use that little button if you want to like zoom in and zoom out. That'd probably be helpful, huh?
Yes.
Okay, so the software is the actual design station, I guess, if you will, that allows you to program the PC Quilter to quilt particular patterns that you want to quilt onto your quilts. So you can do everything from edge to edge. What I'm going to demonstrate here is an edge-to-edge design. You can do motifs, which are individual blocks. You can program it to do something. It has the capability, you can resize. It has a function known as math help, where you can ultimately plug in the design that you want, and then the program helps you decide how many repeats of that design you should have in the area that you specify for that particular pattern that you're going to put into the program. So does that make sense so far, Vaughn?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Very much so.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take this carriage off because this will be in my way. So I will just put this down here. Okay. So like I said, I already have the program set up to be able to go ahead and quilt my pattern. I've gone ahead, one of the things to keep in mind about the PC Quilter, which is really important, is that you don't have to be necessarily completely computer savvy, but you do have to be computer confident, I guess I will call it. You have to be able to do more than just, you know, email and copy and paste. You want to be pretty comfortable with your computer and how programs work in general. QT Menu works on the whole point and click mouse type system, so you're not working in a DOS program or anything like that. So it is very user friendly, and it is very easy to understand. You just have to make sure that you take the time to kind of read through the manuals and, you know, to work through any questions that you might have. So does that make sense so far?
Yes. Okay. Would a general computer program be enough?
Yes, that's an excellent question. Actually, the software itself can run on a very basic computer. Does not need a lot of memory, but what it does need is it needs to be a real-time. The PC Quilter is a real-time device, which means it needs the signal sent immediately from the computer program to the PC Quilter to quilt the quilt. If you have lots of things running in the background, like if you have digitizing programs for your embroidery machines, if you're running your internet, sometimes firewalls, any big programs that you have running in the background will take away at times from the computer's memory in order to send the signals to run the PC Quilter. So you just need a real basic computer with pretty much nothing on it, or if you have only one computer that you're going to be using, you need that computer to only be running the PC Quilter. It really shouldn't be running any other programs in the background.
Okay.
So, but I have to say, I haven't had any problems with that. I mean, I've accidentally forgotten to turn off my internet, and I've had the internet going, and it hasn't really interfered. The other thing to keep in mind with the PC Quilter is that you always want to be using the most updated version of the software. So lots of times, in case there's any little, you know, bugs or little fixes that the company has to do, they'll put out a new version free for PC Quilter owners so that you can download it and get those fixes and bugs out of there. So like, I can give you an example. For a while, my machine would just stop in the middle of quilting for no particular reason known to me, and it would act like I had flipped the pause switch, which I'll talk about in a minute. And so I would have to walk down to the computer and hit a button, and it would start up again. And it might do that 2 or 3 times in a row, and I didn't ever know why. Well, here come to find out, I wasn't using the latest version. They had fixed some of those bugs, and I haven't had any problems since downloading the latest version of the software. So that's all been taken care of. So it doesn't stop on its own anymore, I guess is what I want to say. So does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Does that answer your question, by the way?
Yes, it did. Thank you very much.
All right. All right. So, like I said, I have everything set up. I've already put my quilt on. Again, I'm assuming people have the general sort of concepts about quilting. I know that I am more than willing to do classes for anybody who wants to better understand about the quilting process and the quilt frame and setting it up. I will recommend 2 products, though, very, very highly. One is called Classroom in a Box, and that would be something that if I was going to sell you a PC Quilter, I would highly, highly encourage you to get. It is a book with videos that explains everything in detail, step by step, about the PC Quilter. It talks about all the nuances to frame quilting with robotic quilting features, and it's a wonderful tutorial to get anyone started. And I wish I would have bought it long before I did, so that I had a better understanding than all the trials and tribulations that I went through. The other product that I would highly recommend, it isn't necessary, but it is nice to have. Before I recommend that product, let me just back up a minute. The PC Quilter program does have the ability to do digitizing. And what that means is you can create your own designs and patterns to be quilted out on your quilts. So again, you have to read through the manual, and it walks you step by step. I've digitized some of my own designs and have stitched them out. It's a fairly easy program to use in order to digitize some designs. But the other product that I would recommend for people, and it isn't something, again, that you have to get right away, but I know it has helped me tremendously. I'm a very visual person, and I like to see things laid out as I'm going to quilt them. And the program is known as ProQ Designer, and I would highly recommend that program. It allows you to lay out your quilts all in one visual sequence. You can print your patterns out, so you can help with lining up and adjusting things. It also has some digitizing capabilities, and it's how I lay out all my quilts, so I get an idea of how everything is going to fit together. So those would be the 2 primary products that I would recommend, in addition